Hey guys, Legendaray here, and welcome back to another Clash Royale video. Now, the second global tournament of Season 24 in Clash Royale is starting in just a little bit over a day, and it's going to be a draft global tournament. Now, draft is personally one of my favorite game modes in Clash Royale because it just takes you away from the normal meta that you face in ladder as well as in grand challenges. Instead, you're picking 4 cards for your own deck while giving 4 cards to your opponent. Now, I will admit, due to a little bit of randomness that comes to how the cards are presented to each player, there are times where you just will get a really unfortunate matchup. But even then, today I'll try and give you some of my best tips to help you guys not only optimize your drafts, but maximize your chances in the actual matches as well. And before we get into the video, I do apologize if I do sound a little bit different. I am quite sick, but I really wanted to get a video out since it has been about a week. But that being said, if you'd like to support me, feel free to leave a like down below and subscribe to the channel for more videos like this one. Also, if you'd like to support me, feel free to use code Legendaray in the Clash Royale shop. Any support would be greatly appreciated. And with all of that out of the way, let's get right into the video. Alright, so when you're drafting the cards, there are 2 things that you're drafting for. You're drafting for a synergy, or you're drafting for a counter. So here, I'm going to go ahead and pick the Skeleton Barrel, because, well, that synergizes better with the Lava Hound. Same here with the minions. I'm going to go ahead and pick the Snowball, because my deck is quite expensive. And as you can see, the opponent is going to have a rather weird deck with the Royal Giant, the Ice Golem, as well as the Rascals. While I have the synergy between the air units of the Lava Hound, the Skeleton Barrel, and the minions. So starting off, okay, he's gonna go in with Royal, he's gonna go in with some Rascals in the back. And what I like to do in these draft matches is most of the time the decks you're going to be facing are not going to be the cheapest decks in the world. You'll probably notice this in most of your draft matches. It's not that uncommon, but they're usually pretty expensive. And so when that happens, that means that the playstyle that you're going to want to adopt is a little bit more control based. So starting off the match, I will start off a little bit more reactive, a little bit slower. And you can see there, I only played the Lava Hound in reaction to the initial play of the Rascal Girls. And so now I'm going to slow down a little bit. I will go into the Skeleton Barrel. You know, there are still some cheap cards that you'll get that you can definitely cycle at the bridge. But it looks like we are still going to be facing a very interesting deck, and do note that he does have the Royal Giant. So of course we're gonna have to keep that in mind, and we will do that with the Goblin Cage like so. It'll pop out that little Goblin Brawler, and it will do nice and easy work of the Royal Giant there. So when you're actually playing in the match, aside from a relatively slow start, is you're going to want to try and identify how you're going to try and get to your opponent's tower. And here, because he does have the Inferno Dragon for my Lava Hound, the main way I think I'm going to try and get to the opponent's tower is through chip damage with the Skeleton Barrel, because he hasn't shown to have a counter. And that is another tip. Draft, sometimes you're just gonna simply have a card where the opponent only has like 1 counter to, or if you're even luckier, no counters to. And in that case, you're just gonna absolutely want to abuse that card. So in this example, well, the opponent only has like what? I don't think he has like a single, like, he doesn't have a single consistent answer to the Skeleton Barrel. And so as you can see here, we use that Skeleton Barrel there as a bit of a tank, and now we have a pretty healthy Lava Hound heading towards the opponent's tower here. We actually use that Lava Hound as a bit of a tank for that Inferno Dragon, allowing us to damage his units down. So now Bandit comes down here, and of course we're just going to Goblin Cage here like so. I'm gonna minions up high, and I'm gonna Bar Barrel here as well. I want to save my skeleton, my Snowball, because that is my 1 reset for the Inferno Dragon. I'm gonna pile up some air defense units here. He's gonna poison on defense, but the Skeleton Barrel should still get death damage onto the tower. Skeletons pop on as well, and that should simply just be a GG well played. So as you can see, by giving him a bit of a clumsy hand through the initial draft, and also identifying the 1 card that he didn't have proper answers to, we were able to get consistent damage and end up taking down his tower. Alright, so this next match here, I'm going to go ahead and pick the Balloon. It requires a bit more of a niche counter than the Hog Rider, so definitely a good choice. I'm going to pick the Executioner. I don't want him to have any air counters, if possible. Okay, Royal Recruits, definitely pick the Royal Recruits, okay? You need a very niche counter to be able to counter that. I mean, that being said, I did give him bowlers, so... but I'm also going to pick the Musketeer here as a way of damaging down that bowler. So, starting off here, let's go ahead and go in. We're just going to snowball out these Spear Goblins here. Nice and easily, and see exactly what he's got. Again, I start off pretty reactively. That's generally what I'm going to do. That being said, he does have a Hog Rider, so I do have a Prince to counter that, though, which should be able to stop the Hog for like maybe 1 or 2 hits. Not quite sure. That will be a little bit annoying because we do not have a consistent counter to the Hog Rider. So he'll go in with this there. I think what I'm going to do is I will just cycle a Prince here in the back. Again, I still have cheaper counters. I do have cheaper counters to the Hog Rider, so I don't really need to worry about that. And oh, of course he has Skeleton Army. Okay, we'll just Fire Spirit that and support it with a Musketeer like so. I do have Royal Recruits, so Royal Recruits are coming down right now. Hog should only get 1 hit. Yeah, looks like that is the case. But look at that, the bowler. Oh, the bowler's gonna get chip damage too, isn't he? Oh my god. I'm gonna have to be very, very careful about that bowler. Probably shouldn't have given it to him in hindsight. But let's go ahead and try and identify what air counters exactly does he have. So he has the Zappies. He's shown us these Zappies. He has the Spear Goblins. And has he shown us anything else? Well, let's find out. So let's go in with the balloon here. Has he shown us any other air counter? Because if not, this is going to be a very, very lucrative connection for us. And looks like he does not. He chooses to go in the opposite lane. And as you can see, picking the balloon was definitely a good choice. Because as you can see, by not only picking the balloon and making sure that I didn't give him a single air counter, he just didn't have a... He just couldn't stop the balloon. He simply was not able to stop the balloon.
12 seconds later.
And look at that, taking down this opponent here by simply making sure that he didn't have any counters to our win condition. Alrighty, so for this next match here, I'm going to go ahead and pick the Rocket, just because I play the Rocket so much and I'm very much used to it. I'm going to go ahead and pick the P.E.K.K.A. here. P.E.K.K.A. is very, very good, especially if the opponent has tanks, and in this case, I'm going to go ahead and give my opponent the tank. Simply because I have the P.E.K.K.A. for it. And also, Graveyard's a pretty good win condition. And here, again, Recruits is a pretty much no-brainer. I will have a pretty expensive deck, I will admit that. But, again, I'm preventing him from giving cards that I potentially do not have counters to. Okay, starting off here, he's going to go Princess at the Bridge. I was not paying attention whatsoever. So he's going to get 2 Princess shots, which I guess is okay. He's going to go ahead and zap there, like so. I'll just cycle an Ice Spirit here. I'll kind of chill out a little bit. And again, I'm going to try and play a little bit more reactively. So P.E.K.K.A. in the back here, he might try and Giant in the opposite lane. But I think if he does, yeah, I'm just going to save up for some Recruits here. Which should provide me with a lot of counterplay here. Okay, well, maybe not anymore. Those minions are going to do absolute work. But he did spend a lot of elixir there. And now I'm actually just going to arrow out the Princess here. Maybe I should have waited a little bit in case he had some other counter. Yeah, I probably should have waited a little bit. But he still is going to have to spend even more elixir countering that. Okay, well, looks like he will do a pretty good job. He does have a much faster cycle. So, okay, I will have to be a little bit careful there. I was a little bit more confident in the amount of elixir that I had. And that ended up backfiring just a little bit. So what I think I'm going to do here is I'm going to split my guards here. And probably go in with a little quick Graveyard push, because his Goblin Gang is out of cycle, and I'm interested to see what other counters he has. So, let's go in with an Ice Spirit here. Of course, he has that Cannon Cart. Ice Spirit will jump on, though, and freeze a little bit of the tower. And we're gonna, we're gonna get some good chip damage here, I guess, with all this stuff. And you know what? We're just gonna go in with a Dark Goblin here. I think the Dark Goblin should take that Cannon Cart down, actually. There we go. Yep, it does. All right, very nice. And you know what, at the end of the day, considering that I kind of just wasted my P.E.K.K.A. voluntarily, and I'm only about 200 damage behind, I'd say that's pretty okay. And as we head towards double elixir time, I'm actually going to Recruits in the back, because we're going to get a little bit of a boost of elixir, so we can't exactly go in with a Giant at the bridge. So now, let's think here, let's think. I'll just go in P.E.K.K.A. opposite lane here, and then go in with a Graveyard push here. I'm going to call Cap that he has a counter, because he already went in with his, he just went in with his Goblin Gang. His counters are all out of cycle. And even though this P.E.K.K.A. might not get to the tower, as you can see, it does the job it needs and it tanks for the graveyard. And now we're able to take down his tower nice and easily. Dark Goblin might even damage down that princess. No, I'll use the Ice Spear to finish that off. And now we go in here with our recruits. There should be a good enough job to damage down this giant. If not, guards should finish the trick as well. And tower, again, takes down those minions. Cannon cart might even go down as well. And with 10 seconds left, I'm just going to shove a P.E.K.K.A at the bridge. I don't think there's anything you can do. And again, as you can see, by just simply using the drafts that I'm given, I'm able to ensure that I basically get a much better matchup than I would otherwise. Alrighty, so starting off in this match, I'm going to pick the Ram Rider because she not only offers a lot of offensive versatility, but her snare is very useful as well. Here I'll pick the Electro Dragon because, you know, we need a way to reset that Battle Ram. I will pick... Oh god, this is tough. I think I'm going to pick the Furnace just because it's a little cheaper. And there we go. We get a Lightning immediately to justify our pick of the Furnace. So we get a little bit more of an expensive spell just to start to take down the opponent's Barbarian Hut. Starting off here, again, I do say I like to start a little bit passive, but, you know, playing something really, really passive like a Furnace is definitely perfectly okay as well. And as you can see, it's going to help us take down some of these Barbarians. Okay, he does go in with a Musketeer here. Take down the Furnace. A little bit unfortunate. Okay, we do get a little jump there. Hopefully I timed the guards properly. And looks like I do. Very, very nice. So we'll just go in with some minions here. Make sure that these Barbarians don't get anywhere near our tower. And he actually gave us the Goblin Drill as well, which is kind of interesting. I'll go in with a Goblin Drill actually on defense here. To begin taking all this stuff out. I'll go ahead and try Miner onto the Dark Goblin. I want to make sure that Dark Goblin does not take down my my Electro Dragon. And there we go. As you can see, taking down that push rather effectively. He's going to go in here with a little bit of an additional push here, but with that surviving Electro Dragon, that's not really gonna work. Not gonna cut it. So minions down, and we have a bit of a counter push here with the Ram Rider. He's gonna go in with those goblins, but I don't think he has that much elixir left. And yeah, as you can see, we're gonna get so much damage here with this connection. Might even be towered down. I think it actually will just be towered down. And as you can see, by simply starting the game off on a more defensive footing, we were able to make that initial positive elixir trade on defense that resulted in us having the elixir to formulate a push that just straight up took the opponent's tower. And now heading towards double elixir time, all I gotta do is defend. I did unfortunately let the Dark Goblin completely tear apart my Furnace, but luckily he gave me another building in the Goblin Drill. So, of course, Goblin Drill is gonna come down right now. We're gonna go in with our minions here, as well as a Ram Rider here to utilize some of that snare on defense. The snare does a little bit of damage. It'll slow down some of this stuff for us. And then we'll just go in probably with a Furnace here. Yeah, so that'll connect. And ooh, little trouble here, little trouble. Let's go in with minions here. We're gonna take a lot of damage here. A lot of damage. But I think as long as I can get this Goblin Drill down in time, we should be okay. At this point, we're just kind of spamming everything in on defense here. And look at that, we just barely, I think, we're just barely going to get away with this. Furnace comes down, and I'm pretty sure that's just going to secure us the win here. Or not. Maybe not. As you can see there, we are going to take so much damage, but I think we're just barely going to come away with it, and barely able to stop his pushes. Very, very close match. So there we go, some of my best tips on how to play the upcoming Draft Global Tournament. I hope you guys did find this video helpful, and I wish you guys the best of luck in the upcoming Global Tournament. But unfortunately, guys, that's all I've got time for in today's episode. Huge thanks to all of my channel members. You guys are the absolute G's. If you enjoyed, please leave a like down below, as well as a subscription to my channel. And as always, this is Legendaray, and I'm signing off. See you guys next time.